The Mystic Meals Podcast.
The Mystic Meals Podcast.
With your host, Chef Meow. We talk about food, life. Oh, and we also talk about...
Oh, yeah!
Baby. You better be ready. Right now, here's your host, Chef Meow. Get it, baby.
Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to a very special episode of the Mystic Meals Podcast with me. I'm your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Chef Meow. And this time around, I am gathering the brethren. Years ago, I worked at the Hollywood Bowl, and I was given the opportunity to work for the illustrious Chef Michelle Bernstein at an event called Art Basel Miami in 2018. Obviously, Art Basel is a world-renowned event, and we were invited to go and assist them with some catering and cooking and all kinds of shenanigans. It was very kind of real world-esque because we all had to live in a house, a bunch of strangers thrown together, don't know each other. At least we didn't know them. They were all kind of already familiar with each other. And myself and my friend, Chef Amy Dedrick, were invited to go out. So we went and we worked and we came, we saw, we lived, we survived the week of Art Basel on zero sleep, pure adrenaline, and walked away with some of the most amazing friendships ever. If you are in the hospitality industry, you already know what it is. Part of the brethren, part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew, pretty much. So when I had Chef Josh White on the show a few months back, he suggested that we do an Art Basel reunion. So here we are. So without further ado, I'm going to bring the crew on and we are going to jump right into this kitchen rewind, Art Basel 2018. Meow. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome, my brethren. How are you?
We are doing good. Well, I'm doing good. I'm speaking for both of them.
I'm so gone about
All
y'all.
of us
I know,
as a group are doing
Mr.
well.
Man over here making videos for the bear. What's going on?
Whatever.
Oh my God. So excited for everybody. All right. So these are some of the meows that I worked with at Art Basel 2018 under the illustrious Chef Michelle Bernstein. And we're just going to go around and see who's doing what. So let's start with Miss Mama Chef Selene. Hello, me love.
What?
Hi.
Hello, meow.
Hi. What are you doing?
Everything, nothing. Actually, not much, honestly.
That's good. That's not bad.
Yeah. Just taking it as it comes, living the empty nester lifestyle.
Mm.
And
how's that going? Are you enjoying it, or are you just kind of adjusting?
It's been a couple of years, but it's a little weird because I was mama for so long. I still am, but
you still mama.
Yes, I still am.
Mama. You're always going to be mama.
But yeah, it's a little strange. Getting to know my husband again, and all
but
that
could be kind of fun, though.
It has.
And Jami, how are you doing?
Exactly.
I get busy. It's one of those feast or famine kind of situations. Always has been as a consultant. It comes and goes, and I usually get to a point. I'm almost at the point right now where I get sort of like desperate, and then I will say yes to something I don't really want to do, and then the phone will start ringing and won't stop ringing. So
yep,
that's about where I am. So
I think we all can relate to that.
Yeah.
We're like, well, I'm not doing nothing.
And then I'll say, I'll agree to do some stupid thing, and then then I'll get So
you're like, it's a living.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's like that sometimes. I know. Miss Jami, what's going on with you, girl?
Not much. Pretty much the same boat as Selene. It's like feast or famine. Doing the food media fun stuff. Semi-retired because I went back to school like a jackass, but I'm trying to figure it out. I turned 40 and I'm like, I am not the same anymore.
Yeah. I
That's
felt like that
okay.
when I turned 50. I was like, I see.
I'm loving
see.
50. I remember 40 though. 40 was rough.
Yeah.
I looked
It was
around
like
and
the
like,
best, worst decade ever.
this is what I've got for myself. Like what?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a turnaround for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely start questioning like the everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
50
telling Nikki earlier,
50.
I'm like, I find myself losing patience. Any minor inconvenience, I'm ready to go off.
Yeah.
And I feel like my confidence has gotten a lot better over the years. And now I'm to the point where I'm here and then I have an idiot above me. And I'm like, how am I doing this still? Like,
Yep.
I can't move around without flipping out. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then and then your body's going to start, doing the things that it starts doing. Where
I
you
feel
used to go to the
screwed because
yeah.
I'm just 30. I already have no patience. I have an asshole into me, and my body hates me. So like,
Well,
You're like, I'm way ahead of the curve.
exactly.
You're good.
And I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I've
my
never
goodness.
had
So
any.
Josh,
patience.
what is going on with you, babe? Fill us in.
Yeah, nothing much. Same since I think we last spoke. I'm still the culinary director of a private dining group called Resonant. We're doing a bunch of like private events, supper clubs, pop-ups, exclusive experiences where we're trying to, highlight new chef talent in the city and bring new chefs to light to give them a little bit of fame and fortune that they maybe not have gotten working under somebody. So
Fame and fortune.
still
What's
running
that?
that program. I don't know. Still searching for the fortune. At least.
I know, we're all like, what?
Fame be damned, but fortune. Still
Right,
looking.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, like I mentioned, you just did a thing, a promotional thing for the Bear with what was it? Just Bear?
Yeah, it's just there.
Chicken?
Me and the chicken nugs,
Yes.
it was with Coco Stormer, who is the culinary producer on the show. Our company hosted their venue and did all like the food execution, and then she came in as talent and kind of filmed all the promos, did all the fun stuff, and then we did a few turns of some like really devoted fans to the show, and we did 5 courses of chicken nugs for them. But
Yes.
I will say, regardless of being surprised, of being like, hey, you're about to do the series premiere for the Bear, but caveat chicken nuggets for everything.
Yes.
They were pretty good chicken nuggets. I was
no, they are. That's actually a really good brand, and it's one of the only brands that my daughter will eat.
Yeah,
and she's
and
like
they're
super
good.
picky. So that's why I was like, what's up with them chicken nuggets? What
I
you
have
doing
the
over
case
there?
in my freezer. It's
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask. I'm like,
like how much of them did you get?
6 cases. 3
Wow.
cases of wings.
So
2
is that going to
cases
be like a
of nugs.
perpetual, or like that's it? They're like, here's a case, leave us alone.
I think it's like a here's a case, leave us alone. kind of
Okay.
vibe. Yeah.
That's okay, right? Because then you're going to get sick of it, and then you're going to be like, yeah, whatever.
Dude, it's been a week, and I've gone through like 3 bags of chicken.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They come in clutch, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They do. Well, that's so exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
God. Well, here we are. Like, what was it? 8 years ago is when we all met
That's
each other.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's bananas. When I was like doing the math, I was like, huh?
Look,
Like,
maybe
I
a
was
little
just
earlier
ago,
for Selene and
sure.
I.
What?
I think maybe earlier for Selene. Or did we meet that
I
year?
met Jami before. Jami was there a couple of years before that, and that was my 5th year with the Beast. That is Basel. So yeah, it's been a while. I almost don't remember. It feels like a million years ago. Before the way before times.
Right. I know, before the dark times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I
I
felt when I
imagine
was looking through all those pictures. I was like, damn, we were all like completely different people.
Yeah. Completely.
I'm the same.
You're the same. Yeah. But I feel like you were a lot more established than any of us in that role.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were
Well,
kind of
yeah,
a
like I
guy.
said, that was my 5th year with that
Yeah.
particular event, and I had been doing the big events, from way before then. So as far as it being like the hardest, yes, Basel was a beast, and we still talk about anybody who's worked on Basel with me that I still contract with, and they'll ask me, what this project's going to, whatever the upcoming project is going to be like. And I usually say it's not as bad as Basel. We always just say, well, it's not as bad as Basel.
Right.
That's the benchmark for how bad it was. But the year that we're talking about in 2018 was actually the easiest year of Art Basel that I ever did. So if you can imagine, it was kind of the one where we'd gotten our shit together the most. I had, it was a great team. I don't think that anybody really went totally sideways. In every single year before that, I had at least one person. Usually it was just one person who just went rogue, and just.
There were some things happening in that grab and go room.
Well, like I said,
there were some things happening in
there was a lot happening in the grab and go.
For sure. And I did for sure, reverse into that guy's car with the golf cart. I remember that.
Right. Oh my God.
Shenanigans. Yes.
Well, look, he shouldn't have been parked there. That we knew that was crazy.
That's so
and his
true.
car shouldn't have said whatever chef bullshit thing that it said on it. So
like, not my fault.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
that's right. I remember that. Wow.
So,
chef likes stickers.
But nobody really went too nuts. Like in years previous, somebody always went kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, Jami, you were there before. I can't remember if you were there the year before or the year before that.
I was there the year before 2017.
Okay.
So I was front of the house, and I remember there was a girl working with Noah, and she's like, "I don't work in the rain." And
yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, like, I don't like getting wet.
Right.
Yeah. And that's when I went up to Selene. I'm like, I could do back of the house also.
Wow. Yeah, that was I think that 2017 was the year that it flooded. It was up to our calves.
Yeah.
2018 was pretty mild weather-wise, but yeah, there had been, I had people who got strung out on drugs, had people who disappeared. We had a guy get arrested one year. There was the year
like, you just can't behave.
Yeah. And I can't remember if 2018 or 2017 was the year that I almost died, and
it was our year.
That was your year where the fire department was on me.
Yeah.
So I get all the years all mixed together. I loved that year. I loved that fire department situation. I had 6 guys come run in every couple hours.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
So hot.
So yeah, I know they were all super. The firefighters, yes. It was hot, but the firefighters, yeah. So that was the year of the rum cake. Then, that we ordered for dessert, which I'm still buying from that company. So.
I was too busy because I got off a plane and I meet Selene, and she's like, "You know what you're doing for us this year, right?" I was like, "No." She's like, "You're opening a restaurant, and you're gonna pop up a restaurant for 200,000 people a day, and you're gonna cook out of a closet." And I was like,
yes. And
I ordered you a case of carrots for the week.
And I had complete confidence. So
absolutely. That was the fried chicken thing, wasn't it?
No, I was doing like a more dining.
The dining. Yeah. But there was a fried chicken.
Yeah,
Jonathan.
That was Jonathan. Okay.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, I was supposed to be assigned to the fried chicken, but I ended up on chips.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, I recall.
Yeah.
Like fighting for the fryer with the
God,
chicken.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh my God. Because I remember, Jami, you and I were like kind of struggling for a second. Like we were like trying to like get our footing with stuff, and you were just like frying all day. And I remember I was like making orzo, and like I was doing all this stuff, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's hot.
God. I remember like Neil and I got into it because he left chicken on the floor, and I was like, who did this? And he's like trying to tell me something. I'm like, just who left the chicken on the floor? Put it away. Jesus.
I don't even, I have a hard time remembering, what year from one year to the next at this point. But what I do recall is that it was probably the better one. It was the best year,
Was it your last year too, Selene? Are you still doing it?
It was my last year with Michelle with Basel. The year after that, I did Art Basel for Outstanding in the Field on the beach. But it was the year that I finally convinced Mishi that we couldn't do it anymore. We're all gonna die, and she wasn't making any money. And they just their attitude was, let's just add more to it. So every year it was more. It was one restaurant in the convention center, there was two, and then there was grab and go, and on top of that, the catering got bigger and bigger, and the catering was okay. The convention center was never going to make money, and there was no way for me to convince. It wasn't Mishi, it was David, that just more sales doesn't equate more profit, because it's a percentage situation. So
How did you meet Michelle?
I met Michelle at LA Food and Wine the year before the first Basel, so 2013 or 2014. And she did a lunch with me. And I think somewhere there's a photograph of me. I think I sent it to you, Nikki, on me on the phone. That's me calling all over the place in LA looking for smoked trout. Because, and this is, I've learned about her over the years working with her, is that she wants, specific ingredients, but she doesn't think about that it's not Miami everywhere she goes. So everywhere we go, we have to, definitely. The season's different, it's California or something like that.
The accessibility,
we did find the trout, and that's what she asked me to come and help her with Basel. And I still work with her occasionally. We had a client in Newport Beach in Orange County for a while, and that was going great until these guys got indicted for embezzlement, and they fled to Israel. So
amazing.
Gotta love it.
Always adventures.
Always something.
And then we did Super Bowl one year. I think
I was there for that.
We did Super Bowl. Yeah. And in Miami, and we did F1 races 2 years in a row. So that's the thing about Michelle, and she's not here to hear this, but even when the events are insane, and they always are, I almost never say no to her, because there's something about just wanting to be involved and help her, and I love her so much. So I've gotten myself into a pickle a couple of times with her, but it's always a pleasure. And I've worked with a lot of chefs, and she's the real deal. She rolls her sleeves up, and I appreciate that.
Yes. Yeah, that was the one thing that I really admired about her, was like she was in the trenches. Like she wasn't just delegating, like she was doing the work, and a lot of chefs do that. Like they'll just kind of, they'll delegate and then they'll go and they'll do something else,
or they're in the way.
But no, and she was very observant. She was on everything. She was tasting everything, and she was doing what a chef does and representing it well. And what I really enjoyed the most about her was just her demeanor, her attitude. She has such a beautiful smile. I always say that, like, she's one of those people, like, when she smiles, it's just such a cute smile, like she makes you want to smile. And I really, like, it's such an honor and a joy to work with her, and to have met all of you guys, and to still, we're all still in the circle, because of that madness. For Amy and I, it was kind of like, okay, because coming from where we were coming from, which is another beast of an entity at the Hollywood Bowl, and from one thing to another, kind of getting thrust into it, because they love to pimp out the cooks on the off season, and that was kind of what that was. And they're like, oh, you'll be working with Michelle Bernstein and Art Basel, but it's a beast, and you're not gonna sleep, and you're gonna want to die.
I got you guys through Cheeto at the Hollywood Bowl.
Love Cheeto.
Yeah. So I still work with Cheeto, and that all came about because of another chef that I worked with Jeff, who was, you want to talk about beasts. That's where I came from, is working with Jeff.
Yeah.
So it's great that throughout my career I've made relationships with people, and one person leads to another person, and I try to hold on to everybody, as I go. I think, Jami, you've worked with me. You came to Las Vegas one time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Josh, we haven't gotten you again. I'll have to grab you again.
Yeah,
when you're available. And Nikki, I actually do need to call you because I have some stuff down south that needs some help. So I will. I just, try to hold on to
always
people.
down.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I did, I'm sorry to interrupt. When I did work with you in Las Vegas, I just came back from Poland, and then 2 days later, I went to Las Vegas.
Right.
Could not function. I feel like I couldn't even hold conversation with you guys. I was like, Jonathan, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Like, I can't.
Oh my God, Jonathan.
It doesn't matter. We leave the thinking to me. Just get there.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's
Vegas
plan,
was
just do it.
Yeah, Allegiant Stadium was another beast of a situation. Unfortunately, it was just 2-3 days instead of 6 15-hour days. Like Basel was literally 6 15-hour days. But yeah, I think
that was
plus maybe 15 hours of activation, but we were there for longer.
Yeah.
The traffic going there was so bad. I remember driving because I lived in Dania Beach. So driving from where we were all the way to Dania Beach, I fell asleep in my car and I woke up at like 4 a.m. outside of my house.
Driving, right?
Yeah, I drove all the way home, fell asleep in my car. I woke up and I had like 25 missed phone calls from my husband. Like, where are you?
You're right outside.
Driveway.
Right.
Yeah.
I needed some meat.
Look out the window, babe.
Well,
that car smelled so bad, like onions and fried chips. It was so bad.
Fried the chips.
I honestly would have taken that drive over the walk that we had to do from our B&B to our tent every morning. My feet, it was mostly the walk home after we were done, but that shit was brutal every single day. Yeah. And I wasn't.
What a house.
It was, but remember, Selene didn't hire me. Michelle did.
Right.
So Selene did not know I was coming.
Well, no, I knew you were coming.
Eventually.
I told her we needed a couple more people.
Because then it was like
there was no bed
for me.
Other
people were staying.
Yeah, no,
I slept under the pool table.
Right. I told her we have room in the living room is what we've got.
And then the kitchen. There was a kitchen set up with
that's where
an
Cheeto
inflatable.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was under the pool table with no blankets.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had the blankets.
Yeah, I had one pillow, no blankets.
With the blankets.
Yes.
I mean, it was important that year. I mean, that was so year 5 was. We got to the point where I insisted that everybody stay in the same house because it was a problem. I needed. Even for my own peace of mind, just to keep an eye on everybody.
Yeah, everybody wrangled. Yeah.
I need to know that you got home and you're in bed and you're not running around crazy.
Yeah, no, because she was texting all of us. She was like, "Where you at?"
Yeah,
she was like, "It's 1 a.m. Time to come home, children." Yeah.
Because Nikki, you, me, Amy, and John went out. And she was like,
we're carrying on.
When are you guys coming home?
We were carrying on.
Yeah. We got work to do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Amy was all fireball. Yeah.
Oh my God. She was fireball, wasn't she?
That was because I had experiences, in the previous years where people went.
She was already traumatized from the
little
past.
bit crazy and and had to bring them home. So I still do that for a lot of, if I have events,
as you should.
I want everybody together. I can keep track of them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And also I think it's good team building. And I know that year and I've always done this actually, is that we have that one last night where we go out for dinner. And this, for that year, for Basel, we went to Joe's, which was kind of a habit for us. And so it was in public, but generally speaking, I think in Las Vegas, when you were there in Vegas, you were there. Everybody cries. We have big dinner, team dinner, and everybody talks about why they got into the business in the first place and all this kind of stuff. And everybody has tears. So it's always kind of like a summer camp, a chef summer camp situation. And you go in there not knowing everybody. And are you going to make friends? And what are you going to do? And everybody works so hard and really puts their heart into it and becomes a real team. And sometimes it takes a few days, but by the end, almost every time, everybody's connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might hate
Some way,
somebody, but you're connected.
Yeah.
Both.
Absolutely. Because then when you're done, like you just kind of like it, because then it goes by so fast. Like it seemed like
Yeah.
forever when you're doing it. And then when you're done, you're like, damn, like that was
Yeah.
crazy. And that you lived it and you survived it and that you had the stamina for it. And, you know, as much as you were like griping the whole time, you're like, I
The
can't wait to
stories
do
to
that
tell.
again.
Yeah, the stories to tell. And I've tried to keep track of everybody. I mean, Jose's still around. He's not cooking
Jose did
anymore.
Chicken Shack, right?
Yeah. He is a real workhorse, and I
Yeah.
love to work with him. But he's, I don't think he's cooking right now. And let's see who else was working. Jonathan is in Aspen right now doing another beast of a thing.
Mhm.
He never stopped. He's kind of doing events with Michelle now, right?
Well, I mean, there was COVID, and he was managed, or I don't even think he was a manager. He was working at Best Buy in Denver for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
remember
there was
seeing
that.
stories about
Yeah.
Best Buy. Like
Yeah.
people are fighting each other over the
Yeah.
blow dryer.
But you know, he's a single dude, so he's got to work. You know, like that's that's not unexpected. Was Frankie there the year that
Frankie was
you guys
there.
did
He was
Frankie?
Chicken
Okay,
Shack.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
Frankie in a while. I think that he's still around here, and I think he's still in the kitchen somewhere, but I haven't seen him in a while. He shows up on Instagram every once in a while, but I haven't seen him. Cheeto, like I said, I still work with quite a bit. Who else was there that I see Manny every once in a while. He comes out with Michelle.
Oh, my Manny, or not? He's not mine. I don't own him, but
Michelle's Manny.
yeah, she owns him. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Joelle
She has
too.
claim.
No?
She
And
has claim.
Joelle. Yeah. I've seen Joelle every year for F1, the couple of years that I went out there. Everybody's kind of, I think everybody's still around. I don't think we've lost anybody yet, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But
I see Colin a lot
Oh
online.
yeah. Oh my
doing
God,
his
Colin.
thing.
The
Yeah.
juggler.
Colin, yes, Mr. Man, right? I know.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
The
That's so
juggler.
hardcore. I love it. I love it. I was thinking about that the other day. A friend of mine was like juggling, and I was like, you don't even know.
You'll
You
love
juggle,
that.
juggle some 8-inch
You'll love
knives.
that.
You can talk to me later. Oh my gosh. Yes.
What's Amy up to? I know she can't come tonight, but what's she up to right
Well, she is about to move. She's moving to Spain.
Oh, nice.
That's what I'm saying. Like we were talking, I was like, "Oh my God, girl, wow!" Like we were like talking with a lisp and the whole thing.
Yeah, moving to Spain.
Moving to España, baby. I was like, "You better work, bitch." Yeah. So she's been like, because she had posted something cryptic a while back, because she kind of bobs and weaves online, and she had this like kind of everything must go kind of garage sale, and I was like,
I saw that. Yeah.
and I texted her and I was like, what's the tea? Like, what's going on? Why are you selling everything? You're doing like, is everything okay? You still married? Like, what's happening? She was like, no, bitch, we're moving to Spain. So like they're getting rid of everything. And I believe they're leaving like in a couple of days.
Whoa.
So she's just like, help me. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Here, I'm gonna
I'm
text you
so
something.
excited for her and for her wife, and thrilled that they're making this leap, and it's going to be insane for her. I cannot wait to see the shenanigans and hear all about her experiences there, the food, the wine, the people. I mean,
you know what she's doing? Is she cooking over there?
I'm sure she will.
Of course.
I'm sure she will. There's no way. How can you not?
She's a lifer. She's so
good. She is. Yeah, there ain't no way. Like I think even like Jami, I think you can relate to this too, because I know you're jumping into a different kind of path right now with it, but it's like we can't. It's in our DNA. You know what I mean? No matter how we segue, like we're always going to revert back to that. Like I said earlier, like Selene, you ever need anything, just it's already done. So let it be written, so let it be done. Like it's already a yes. Like regardless, like that's just what happens. But she's about to embark upon an amazing journey in her life, and I'm super thrilled for her. And like I said, she was going to try to be here, but her boss kind of hit her last minute with some, well, guess what? We have a large dinner. She was all, damn it. So she's been like texting me all day, freaking out. And I was like, well, girl, first of all, here I go getting all me about it. I was like, first of all, it's the full moon, my love. And it's also Mercury retrograde. So relax, calm down. And
are we still doing that? I know we're still doing that.
I thought it was just kind of perpetually retrograded at this point.
No, I mean, it feels like it.
Exactly.
But it's good to take note of it because, it just makes sense sometimes the way people's energy gets ramped up around a certain time of the month or whatever. Like people just start like getting real aggro or just like emotional, like emo, you're like,
I just thought it was my hormones.
Well, I mean, it's probably all of the above. But my point was like, it's kind of all of the above. You know what I mean? Like this is going on and that's happening. And maybe that's why you're having a bit of a crazy day. Plus you're about to move overseas. So your brain is already like imploding upon itself. So, take a minute, breathe. And I was like, and don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like if you can make it, it's okay. And if you can't, it's okay. Like we all know the gig.
Yeah. And there doesn't have to be a reason. If I can just be the devil's advocate against any kind of astrology or religion and anything. Yeah. There doesn't have to be a reason.
Not having it. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's what it is.
It's just whatever.
Yeah.
Roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like it just, whatever information and knowledge you can gather about whatever it is and how you move through your life, it just helps you just kind of deal and manage with yourself first, because if you can't keep yourself under control, everything else is just going to follow suit. So if you stay,
Mama's the queen of that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Selena's the queen of demeanor.
Well, I've had to on the outside.
Yeah, of course. I mean, no one's
I know.
On the inside.
I think we all represent well. I think
inside, I'm freaking out. I think what's interesting about all of us here, and then everybody, I guess, who's been involved with Basel, if we're talking about those teams, but is that I try to talk to other chefs about this, that there's more than one way of being a chef. And I'm around a lot of restaurant chefs a lot with, and I'm sure Jami, because of the Food Network stuff that you do, actually all of us, like around people who are like, this is the way, you got to be a restaurant. How many times have you ever heard somebody say, why don't you open a place? Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And, that, not only because I'm too smart for that, we're too smart for that, but that's not the only way to be a chef, and when you're talking to kids who are coming in through culinary school and they think they're going to go straight to TV, and not only is that not reasonable, and not everybody can be on, nobody should be on TV, but there's different ways that you can do that. Well,
maybe me here and there.
Okay,
just a little, maybe a little bit.
You're like an actual chef. Like some of the TV chefs I work with, like don't know what they're doing, and I'm like,
clearly.
Here. So it's like I'm working with someone. They're so popular. They call them chef. I go in. I feel like, wow, I'm working with this person.
Nothing.
They can't even like. My brain is shut. They can't even take off.
Hold the knife.
No.
How can you not do that? Like, how can you not do a chicken? Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I do that a lot too. But it was April, came out of Pebble Beach Food and Wine. And that's, for me, that's kind of my biggest thing in the year. And I have 140 chefs come through, guest chefs come through. And, okay, maybe 30 of those are local and they don't require much attention, but the rest of them require ordering and prep space and all this kind of stuff. And some of them are
that whole event, Selene?
No, I don't organize the whole event. I coordinate all the guest chefs. So I do to take care of their ordering and schedule their prep spaces and handle their equipment logistics for that event. So 4 days of. Yeah, it is, and mostly because it's a people thing, Yeah. It also requires knowing what you're doing, like how to cook, And I think, Jami, you see this, and what you're talking about there is that there's people who you consider to be professional chefs or they're celebrity chefs, and you'd hoped and think that they know what the fuck they're doing. And granted, in their Michelin star restaurants or wherever somebody shoot me if somebody tells me that they've been on Top Chef, because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, it's great, good for you. But what I'm looking is what can you do right now, right here? And
Yeah.
this is what we're talking about. So a great chef, you know, a great Michelin star restaurant chef or whatever, generally is going to put out maybe, I want to say 20 plates at a time, you know,
Maybe.
when they're at the table.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen all the time. And they're probably going to have a reduced menu for that, thank God, or whatever. But when you have to translate that into 250 or God forbid 2,000 portions of that recipe that they're producing in their restaurant, that's when they just fall apart. And I'm sure that the same goes for, it works in your restaurant, but does it work for television, Jami?
Right.
Like you've got to produce it in a way that
or events.
Yes.
Or Josh, when you're doing pop-up events, like, yes, it works for your restaurant, but when we're doing an event off-site, that changes everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's taken me a while to develop these relationships with these chefs. And over the years, and like Michelle was one of them, that they see me once or twice and get it, like, oh, this is somebody who can help me. And it doesn't, they're not going to judge me on like, well, she doesn't have a restaurant. She's walking around with a clipboard. Somebody's got to fucking do that.
Right. Yeah. Somebody's got to organize this shit. Yeah.
You know, somebody just needs to just take that. So
right.
when I like my name on here is Mama, the reason for that is that that's what mothers do. And whether we're mothers like actually with human babies or we're mothers in the kitchen, it's that kind of care where your mama's going to lead you and she's going to teach you and she's going to provide you with the tools that you need.
But she's also going to discipline you and let you know.
Discipline you if that's what needs to happen. But she's also going to step back and let you take the spotlight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's what mothers do. And that's kind of, you know, what I explained to like, well, why do you do? Well, look, your success is my success.
Yes.
I don't need anybody to really know who I am necessarily. I mean, it's great if they're interested, but you know, I don't need to be the one with the name on the thing or all that stuff.
You're like, I don't need top billing, baby. I already know who I am.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when if you do get these assholes that are like, really don't know what they're doing, there's an extra special amount of, you know, justice.
Yeah.
And I'm and satisfaction knowing that guy was going down if I didn't fucking fix it.
Yeah.
So I love that, you know, and I'm not going to rub it in his face necessarily, but I'm not going to take shit.
It's the internal joy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's the
and I know who they are now. And every time I see them, I'm like, you know.
It's that. Yeah. It's that side eye.
Remember that time?
Yeah.
Remember that time you thought?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Remember that time you asked me for, you know, whatever, 35 pounds of shrimp and you thought it was gonna, I'm just.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I mean, it's the experience of actually doing the thing that gives you whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to walk in the room and be like, I've been on this, I've been on that, I've done this, I've done that. It's like your work should speak for itself, period. Like, you shouldn't have to walk in there waving any kind of flag about anything. And I think people will see that within minutes of working beside you. Like, oh, okay. Like they've got good demeanor. They have good stamina. They're good under pressure. They're not freaking out over like the little things that happen. Because at any given time, you know, it's like things could go left and, you know, okay, that's the problem. Where's the solution? Like, you just got to keep pushing through it. And experience gives you that. Not everybody has that. You know what I mean? So they need that kind of guidance of like,
a lot of people want to skip that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, it's so important to do. I mean, I'm so glad that I came up the way that I did in the business, because I was able to learn from so many people on how to handle and how to manage, and not just working in a restaurant, because catering is totally different. It's a completely different thing. And a lot of chefs that I've worked with that only exclusively cater have a very different way of handling.
And vice versa too.
Yeah. So having both really kind of helped me kind of be like, all right, well, you know, let's just get through it, guys.
And you need to, and a lot of these kids, they need to get their asses kicked. Like,
Yes.
I
Yes.
got my ass handed to me.
And sometimes there needs to be the example. Like somebody needs to be the example of what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
Like those people exist.
You worked with Jeff. You know what I'm talking about. I got my ass handed to me.
Man, but here's the thing, and I'm sure you can relate to this too with Jeff. Like there was just something about that in exchange with him where like he saw something in me, which is why he pushed me so hard. Like he was brutal with me, man, but because he knew I could do it even when I didn't think I could. And he would ask me questions. So what's the plan? So how many of this, how many you got, like making me think like, okay, how many do I have on the speed rack? Do I have 180? Do I have 200? Like, what do I have?
No, I will never not count again.
Right? Like I'm already like, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing the long division, I'm doing the fractions, you know what I mean? But that's the stuff that you don't realize that you need as you go along. Like just be able to have the wherewithal to think on your feet and answer the questions. And I got to that point with him where I could really go toe to toe. And even our interview, when he hired me initially, he hired me because I kind of like, he was like, well, why do you want to work the grill? Like the grill's a pretty brutal station. Like, why do you want to work? I don't really get the appeal. Like, why do you want to do that? And I was like, because I'm good at it. And he was like, and that got me the job.
No, he was nodding, but he was like, well, we're going to see.
Yeah, he was like, and he did though. But he did, because I went in there and I was like, let's go, man, fire it up, baby. I was so like hungry for it and, proving to myself that I could do it. You know what I mean? And I think we're all like that. I think we're all really good at like throwing ourselves in the fire and just knowing that we're going to make our way out.
Yeah, dude, I'm so lucky. My first professional chef mentor was Chef Michelle. Like, I cooked on the line for like 8 months and then didn't really know what was next. And then got a call from Chef Michelle from Mikey, her CDC at the time, and was like, hey, the Boyka guy. It was like, hey, do you want to come do this? And I was like, sure. So like, I was on the line at freshly 18, and my first ever chef was Michelle.
Oh,
so it's like I'm
what a great initiation. Yeah. That's like the best way to get introduced.
Too, like she's
so tough,
but she is tough. Like she wants what she wants. But when you have respect for somebody who's like that and they want what they want and they're going to push you to do it, then you really want to succeed. You really want to be that person that succeeds. It's fortunate. Like, look, she's not the kind of person who's going to throw things at you.
Of course.
Ran her mouth to me a few times at the chip station.
And I regret a little bit that's what happened to me. I think Jeff had probably softened up or had been fired a few times before he got to you, Nikki. So he was
he did. Yeah.
But I'm pleased that I had that experience where somebody was tough. Now it probably was a little abusive, I will admit.
Oh, absolutely.
All that kind of stuff. But even Michelle, and I've seen her, and she's tough with me too. Like she's not going to give me any excuse if she doesn't want
leeway either.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But she's reasonable, that way. And it's nice that she's not throwing things or, appreciate
what do you think, like, as people who are kind of working in 4 different aspects of food right now, like, what do we think in the absence of abuse in the kitchen? Like, what is next to make the next generation good?
I think that there's gonna be a period where we'll have to go back. I hate to say that we have to go back to the abuse. Obviously, that's not ideal. It's not what I would hope for people, but it's gotten a little bit soft. The kids are soft.
We have to go back to holding someone to a standard.
Yes. People need to be held accountable, and it needs to be professional that way. And, honestly, I miss the sexual harassment.
I feel the same way. The best laughs I've ever had is from sexual harassment.
God damn.
Yeah, I mean, because food is dirty, man. Like, you go there like really quick, and it's a common denominator, and whatever.
It does, it just loosens everybody up. If you can just have that. Look, I don't think don't sleep with people you're working with. Obviously,
Oops.
Literally.
I know we're all like, okay, click.
We've all been there, I bet.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's a difference between, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about withholding shifts because somebody won't give you a blowjob. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Of course.
I'm talking about just the casual atmosphere,
The
the
looseness.
brotherhood, the sisterhood of talking like a pirate. And nowadays you can't say anything. Somebody, can't say.
So
And
annoying.
I'm done with it.
It's so
And the
annoying,
beauty of being contractor is that, and not, I don't work anywhere, is that there's no HR for me.
Yeah.
It's brutal. I'm the fucking
And you see people's
director of a
eyes, when I say that to them,
Everyone's
and
like,
their eyes light up, and they're like, "So we can, bring it, say
well, for
it,
you,
do
Josh,
it."
it's like you're in a position where you have to be the example of what you want everybody else to be, and then because the landscape has changed so much, and it's like what Selene's saying, like at some point we're going to have to try to circle the block again.
And I think that's what I'm working on now too.
Yeah.
It's like I see that, of course, and like I am who I am because of the chefs that meet.
Right.
So, like
right.
I still have that characteristic in me, but I'm still a very to what I think empathetic, thoughtful, communicative boss that can get my point across without getting there. But one thing I do not ever sacrifice are my standards. So it's we can have that. We can have this really supportive, symbiotic relationship, but what you're executing needs to be here to maintain that relationship.
Right. Yeah, if you want to play, then you have to bring it. And I think
you've got to be able to keep up.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
And honestly, I don't remember, I joke about the harassment. Look, it was never really harassment in my opinion. We're talking about an environment that was equal for everybody, that didn't discriminate.
Yeah.
It was never mean. It was never cruel. It
was raw and real.
Yeah,
you're all going through the same thing,
cousins and stuff, and we're just giving each other shit and talking, telling dirty jokes. And I just think people need to be just a little more real. I'm tired of having to cater to somebody whose feelings are going to get hurt. We never brought politics into it, in the kitchen.
Yes.
And that's become a thing.
Everybody. And that's something I think that was pretty prevalent at Basel too, because it's we're already sacrificing so much. I've sacrificed my time, I've sacrificed my body, I've sacrificed my mind. I already have so much on the line. And you're just on the same page with everyone else around you in that same boat. That the only thing that we have left together is our humanity. We don't have this extra thought filter of how I need to say something to you. We're already at this even level of the only frame of thought I have left is saying what I need and what is on my mind.
Right.
And when you're around other people in that same boat that are the only thing I'm capable of right now is saying what's on my mind, it creates this really what Selene was saying, roundabout, comfortable, equal, welcoming space, because everything we've kind of already agreed upon is that we're here and we're struggling.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything outside of that doesn't matter. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that attitude where it's people talk about talking like pirates. Well, it's a pirate ship, and we're on the ship together.
That's
and
right.
there's got to be a captain and all that kind of stuff because somebody's got to steer it. But we're all we have to get through this together.
Yeah.
We need every single person, every single member of the team to be on board and getting us moving in the right direction. You might have to cast one or two people overboard. If that's the case,
you walk the plank today, matey.
You're walking the plank today. But look, we're not, but generally speaking, we're not going to leave anybody on the battlefield. We're going to bring everybody with us. And it's never been cruel or mean or anything like that.
No, so. I said that in my intro that I recorded before this. I was part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew. That's just what it is, we're in this till the end, baby. So, not the love.
Even my kids, my daughter's been working with me, and and she's not sure. I mean, both of them were like, I don't know, I want to do that for a living.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But what both of them, and her in particular, because she's been working most recently, is that she recognizes that she is part of the tribe, you know, and it's a tribe. Like when you get in there and you're like, yeah, I can hang with these people, and you know, and she's having a, bless her heart, she's ordering a whiskey and Coke with some 60-year-old guy at the bar,
Yep.
you know, and,
Yep.
but they're totally cool.
That's what this business does to you.
Yeah, exactly. and they're talking about, I don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Blowjobs, or I don't know. Who knows? We're like, that's my girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what brought us all back here today. You know, it's like I wouldn't be here talking to you guys if I wasn't bonded in a way that's like,
yeah.
I'm thinking about this.
Yeah, when you said, when you mentioned in your Instagram intro that we're trauma bonded, but it's more than that. It's not just the trauma that bonds us. It's that we are.
It's the similarities.
We're part of the tribe.
That's like kind of it's a play on like the reality of it, because like it's because anyone that works in hospitality knows what that means. You know what I mean? Like, we are galvanized because of that experience and being together and everything that we've gone through. And kind of just circling back to your question too, like a lot of chefs that I know that work in restaurants, I think what they're struggling with right now is actually keeping people. And they're really kind of questioning their own style of management and like, what am I doing wrong that I can't keep people here, you know, that they don't want to stay. And, you know, I feel like that really, again, has a lot to do with the restructuring of the business and people just kind of realizing that, you know, well, if you're not going to make it worth it for me to freaking kill myself every day, then no, I'm not going to stay. So there's all these different, you know, caveats now that are involved in just the restaurant structure, period. Like, how do you keep people incentivized and, you know, without burning them out and, you know, now thrusting
having no money to
right.
give
I mean, number one is that people need to be paid a living wage. You know, that's just like, there's no way around that.
Right. Right.
Which is getting more and more difficult with, you know, the cost of goods. It's like, I was doing a calculation the other day of like, you know, the top 5, you know, eggs, dairy, chocolate, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And eggs are up 221% in 2 years.
Gnarly.
That's not a problem with the restaurant industry. It's the problem with the consumers, because
that's what I'm saying. It's like, how are we fighting that?
We need to be prepared to pay more for what we're getting, and Americans just refuse to do that. And I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but that's not sustainable. Yeah, it's just not. And I think
I think that's why a lot of people are finding the other paths. You know, it's like what you said, Selene, when someone asks you when you're opening a restaurant, it's like, fucking never, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
People have been asking me that since I was like 18. Like, oh, so you're going to open? Like, I'm never going to open a restaurant. Yeah, I do have this dream, however, of like spending half the year in Mexico and with a little bookstore, like a little
snacky
you know, like a little cafe, you know, somewhere where I would just cook whatever I want whenever I want. And shut
well, that's what I was gonna say. So when you kind of give bread and breakfast
vibes,
maybe. I guess.
Like, imagine waking up and Selene cooks you breakfast.
Bread and breakfast.
I know. I was gonna say she's making the bread, she's making the cafecito.
Yeah,
for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I love to cook for people, but then there's, you know, the people. Ew.
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole point of back at home.
That's that side of it.
That's you know, and then the catering company, which I did for a little while, but I do not want to, and brides, forget about it. I do not want to talk to
hate to say it, Diva. I just did my first bat mitzvah.
I used to bartend at those.
That's it for me.
I would fight a 13-year-old to get the hell away from the bar, because they're like, my mom said I could have a beer. I'm like, I don't care.
I told myself after we finished, I was like, I will never be this stressed out over a 13-year-old child ever again.
Yes.
Nice.
I have my own
Yeah.
13-year-old to worry about.
Exactly. I was like, the
Bananas.
only exemption would be my own 13-year-old, which I really doubt is going to happen as well.
Well, you can have them just skip that year.
Exactly. I'll buy him at
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
just that year didn't happen.
Yeah, adopt a 15-year-old, and then you don't have to
Start from there.
That's what I always told my mom. I was like, I'm going to adopt an 18-year-old so that
There
they
you
can
go.
like, live with me
They
for a
can
week
just
and
leave.
move out.
Yeah.
And I will support and love them dearly, but not in my home.
Right. Not here, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my
not in
God.
my
All right.
home.
So
Yeah,
Amy has been
catering
texting me over the past few minutes. So hold on. I'm getting my mama goose. Hold on a second.
Okay, let's see. What's she up
She
to?
said, fuck.
Eating dinner,
I'm
guys.
still serving. I was going to talk about that damn catering I had to do. That was actually the best day, and I almost had a heart attack. I think there was a day where she was doing some like wicked stuff, and she was freaking out. I remember that. But then, and I was going to bring this up too, because, okay, so when I got hired for this thing and Selene was, talking about the sleeping setup and everything, I was like, girl, listen, I was like, I kind of have an issue because like I'd be snoring, okay? Like,
I remember that.
And I'm not talking about like, I'd be cutting down rainforests, okay?
Yeah.
I was like, so I'm kind of going to need like my own room. And she was like, well...
I think I'd gotten to the point where I was the only one who I was like, I have to have a door that
you
I
did.
can
She was like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then hold on. So she said, I was going to bring up your snoring. And then she says,
The
oh my God. Okay. She's bringing up the rosemary. I'm just going to leave it there.
We can't talk about that.
I don't remember that.
We don't talk about rosemary.
No, that was private.
Yes. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
And then, Josh and the color green. She wants me to ask you about that.
Oh, I need Amy here for that. But something special about Amy and I just clicked immediately. Like she is such an inspiration to me, and I like totally found a mentor in her in that space. Like she was just like everything I wanted to be. She was talented. She was driven. I mean, obviously all of us are, but she was like the first one I met there, and I was like, oh, this girl's similar to me. I like want to work like her. I want to be like her. I want to like. She just had so much knowledge and so much like strength, and she was like, "What the fuck are we doing here?" What is this?
But she's like so smooth with it, though. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, like her demeanor is just so
She's like,
even.
does anybody
and, like,
else see what's happening right now?
Yeah. Because when I worked the first time I met her, I was like, she just was jamming out. Like my intro to her was her like just watching her work and just how hyper organized she was, because you have to be. I mean, to the T. Like even her handwriting was like, I was like, wow, like that's a whole nother level right there.
That was the first time I had met her, and I mean, I was not just impressed, but I was so relieved because
she handled all the catering.
All my experiences in the past, and I just was like, for me to be able to hand her the book and just and we
like,
communicated back and forth about stuff, but just like hand her the book, and she's like, I know exactly what this means. I know, and she knew the questions to ask, and just do it, and it was such a relief. The year before, I don't know if you heard about this gal,
Jordan, what's her name?
I think her name was Jackie, and I hired her sight unseen, which I will never do again.
Believe that name, Nikki.
Yeah. And it's okay. She knows who she is.
Fuck her.
She knows who she is.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
She had this great resume, an amazing resume. She had a catering company. And look, I understand there's a thing, East Coast, West Coast thing with catering companies, or I don't know if it's East Coast, West Coast, but when I say catering company, I mean like events. I don't mean styrofoam containers out of your fucking house.
Yeah, right.
Like you do a plate, great, awesome. I love it, but that's not,
That's not what we're talking about here.
And she'd done all this stuff apparently, and she had photographs and everything, and she interviewed really well over the phone and all this stuff. So I hired her to do events the year before, and she showed up, and she did not know how to do anything. And I'm not even exaggerating at all. I know you think I'm exaggerating,
No,
but I'm not
No, we
exaggerating.
believe you. I believe you.
The first day, we needed to get together a breakfast buffet, and I figured, look, this is a good way. Just the first day, we just get some platters together. We need
cut some
fruit
fruit
platters,
up.
and we need like bagels and schmears. Like that way, while you're doing it, we can kind of talk, and I can kind of feel out the situation.
Right.
She didn't know how to peel and cut a melon, and
Wow.
I had to walk away. I was like, just
What am I gonna do?
Yeah. Like, what do we do now?
What do I do? Yeah.
I kept the next day. So I kept the audio recording of me having a conversation with her because I had no idea what was going to happen in this conversation. And
she's like, I need proof.
Yeah.
I did. I needed, because I was like, I couldn't believe what was.
Yeah.
I had a conversation about why she was there and what we were going to do, and that we'd had some kind of miscommunication about what her skill set was. And she told me that it didn't make any sense for her to be cutting fruit or whatever because she should be cooking. And I said, well, if you can't cut fruit and vegetables, then I can't trust you to cook on the stove.
Right. Yeah.
And she didn't understand that. And then she tried to tell me that she hadn't gone to culinary school, which doesn't make any, I didn't go to
matter.
Same.
Yeah.
So that, and then, so I determined that there was no getting to her. I think she said something like that she was really used to being the one who comes up with the ideas. And
that's it.
It's like, I'm the mule.
Do you know where you're at right now?
Yeah, exactly. You go
You're
around
worshiping at the altar of the muse, girl.
Right.
So Michelle, so I have to sit her down with Michelle because she was from out of town, so I felt I didn't want to just let her, go. We brought her all the way in here, but I told her, look, we may have to reevaluate what position, what you can do. I'm sure there's got to be something you can do, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, she can work
cooker, idea maker,
the cashier at the cafe, or bless some. I don't know, but I'm trying to recover, because you had to understand that I hired her, so I'm like, I felt responsible. So I sit down with her and Michelle, and we're sitting in the cafe in the garden, and the three of us, and she says something to Mishi about how important it is for us to have this conversation and for us to talk chef to chef. And Michelle's because we're all chef
girls in that one.
And
oh my gosh,
Michelle's face, you know exactly the face,
Yeah.
And I had to get up from I had to leave. I had to excuse myself because I was.
She's like, you're on your own, baby.
Yeah, she's
mortified. Exactly. I was like, I can't. I'm just mortified. I was like, I just like mouth, and I just had to excuse myself. But she wrote us. I paid her for that day and for the day before that she didn't cut any melons, and for half of the day. For the meeting, and she wrote us the most scathing emails about how she was going to sue us, and that we didn't pay her, and that we were unprofessional, and it was. I've never seen anything so crazy. Well, that's not true, but I've rarely seen.
I'm sure you have, girl. Yeah,
it's one of the most crazy things I've ever seen.
Well, I can imagine the godsend of Amy after that.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I mean. So the contrast of like, I didn't know Amy, and I mean, she and you, Nikki, were recommended by Jeff, which is like recommended by Jeff is high, like marks, because was tough. So I was like, it's probably gonna be okay.
Yeah. like it might kind of sort of be all right. Yeah.
I think they're going to be okay. And even Michelle was like, "Are you sure you don't know these people because of what had happened before?" And I was like, I think, I trust him. I think it's going to be okay. And yes, it was such a relief and such a delight to have somebody that was so professional and just
competent.
came in and did it. Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to emphasize strongly enough asking the right questions, because obviously everybody has questions. I'm not saying like I don't have all the answers, but asking the right questions is so good that somebody is like, I see this picture, here's what is missing for me, and this is what I need to know. And it just told me that she knew what she was doing. And she's amazing. And I called her off and on since then, but she's always,
she's busy.
Of course, she's always busy.
Yeah,
she's always
doing something.
I've never been able to book her since then, but I understand it's because she's good. She's really, really good.
And now nobody's going to book her because she's going to be in Spain.
I guess we'll have to go to Spain.
That's what I'm saying. At least now we have to go bother her over there. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but she was such a gem of a person to work with and get to know. And we were like so like beautifully competitive when we worked at the Bowl, like who would get there first, like because I had to be there like crack of fuck in the morning and like all the purveyors and everything, and I would get there and then she would get there like right behind me, or like we'd be walking in at the same time. We were like, so girl, I'm like, I know, here we go. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But you had to be so on point with everything there, because there really wasn't a lot of room for error, and plus the fact that you had to manage so many employees and there was just so many moving parts to that place, and being able to keep your head and at least represent in front of everybody, and then go on the walk and be like and then you come back out and handle
dude
it.
I remember when I was holding her and she was like, I can't do this, there's no way I can make this happen. There's no way I can make this. She's like,
but everybody has that moment. Every single job I've ever had, I have that moment where I'm like, am I doing this? Why do I do this? What am I doing? What am I doing? And
we question our life choices.
Yes, every single time. And so that's just proves that you're human if you're
Amy took care of us too. Like I remember we were done. It was probably like a week and a half later. I had gone home to visit family, and she was like, "Hey, what's the address of where you're staying right now?" And she sent me her knife. She was like, "Here's like." Aww. She recognized I was young. She recognized I was green. She was like, "Here's."
You weren't that green.
I wasn't that green, no. But like in the scheme of things, she had been cooking 10 years more than me at that point. Like, I was probably like 21, 22 when I was in Basel. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I was green,
You baby.
She was like, "Here's the knife you need to be using. Here's how to sharpen it." She sent me cookbooks. She was like,
yes,
here's like a path to success, right? And she always
that's how we were brought up, though. That's how other chefs treated us, was like they recognized, like one of the first like interactions I had with a chef was one of the first restaurants I worked in, and my knife set was the worst. Like it was the jankiest, like, but they worked. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like my bread knife was like the most god-awful thing ever, but I knew how to use it and it worked. And we were doing an event and the chef grabbed my bread knife and was trying to cut some baguettes, and it just couldn't, it just wasn't doing it. And he took my knife and he threw it in the trash, and I was like, hey. And that was the first time like I kind of was like, you know what, if you're not going to get me a new knife, don't do that. And that was like my first real like headbutting experience with a chef. But he like understood that like, okay, she's just starting out. And then the next day I came in and I was like, oh fuck, like I'm done for. That's it. Bye. It was nice knowing you, everybody. But he sat me in the office and there was a whole knife set waiting for me. And he was just like, here you go. And that was it. And I remember like clutching it, like
my baby.
Yeah, because it was just, it's something that he didn't have to do at all. But the fact that he was like, all right, girl. Plus I was the only woman that had ever stepped foot in that kitchen. And if you're old school like that, like that was a lot, you know what I mean? Like to just be sized up and put to the test, and they send you looking for shit that doesn't exist, and like all the hazing, just to see like what you're made of. And I remember telling him when I got hired, I was like, in 30, because I got put in garde manger. So you know how they do. Like,
Of course you do.
I mean, lucky they didn't put you in fucking pastry.
Right. Well, I mean, but it was pastry.
You know,
like,
you moved from gourmet to pastry.
Yeah. So they're like, you're going to go over there. And I was like, you know what? In 30 days, I'm going to be on the hotline. And sure enough, in 30 days, I was on the hotline because I wanted it that bad. But he recognized that in me. And I think that that's something that I took with me throughout my travels in this business is like, you know how that feels. You know what it feels like to be unsure and uncomfortable and doubting. And, so you want to help ease somebody through that as best as you can. And I think that's how you teach and that's how you guide is by, again, just kind of being the example, like, oh, I get it, but maybe do it this way.
Yeah.
Try this and then see how that works for you.
Yes, always set an example. I was just talking to somebody the other day about that, is that to be a good leader is to set an example. And it's not about being demeaning. If you want your Brunoise a certain size, then you need to show them exactly
how
what
to
you're talking
do it.
about.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse. If the person doesn't do what you ask them to do, it's because you didn't show them.
Right.
It's not because they don't know what you're doing or what you're talking about. It's because you didn't show them. Now, there is some responsibility, like I said, with the ask the right questions on the part of the person learning to ask the right questions. But especially when people are young and they don't know, or they're scared or whatever, or they don't want to look stupid, is they don't ask the questions. But it is up to the leader to really show that. And because I'm always in different kitchens with all different cooks all the time, I really make it a point of like, I want it cut like this, and I'm gonna take, this is the knife you should use, and I'm gonna show you one, and then we can go from there. And that way, if they can't do that, then you can throw them out.
Exactly. But you have to take this aside.
I fucking showed you.
Yeah.
Like, there's no excuse, like what size, like the one I just did.
Yeah. It's very wax on, wax off, like you're getting them to do the repetition of it without them understanding that that's what's going to make you better.
Right.
At what
and you never
want to,
you never want to be the kind of person in the kitchen, especially if you're in a position of leading, that the people under you, think that you wouldn't do what they're doing. Like, I will wash dishes. I like whatever it takes. I'm right there with you.
Right.
Like we're talking about we're all on the ship together.
Exactly.
Now, granted, we need the worker bees, we need the soldiers and all that kind of stuff. And I don't have, like, if I had to cut everything, obviously we're not going to get anywhere. Yeah. But I am willing and capable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
to be honest, I'm not as fast as I used to be. So it's great to have younger people in the kitchen who can,
I mean, that makes it that much more important to be a leader.
Absolutely. Yes. Like, if you're better than me, good.
Right. Yeah. But at the same time, we also know when to step in there and show them why we're where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm the big dog, baby.
There's nothing to cut if I didn't order it. So that's, all that stuff. But showing somebody what to do and having that kind of, compassion for the people that you're working with, put yourself in their shoes, is really important for leadership. And frankly, it's, especially like I said, with this big event, when you have 100 and something chefs come in, and it's a good example, it's a fair example across the board of the kind of people you're going to see. You're going to see young people who are super talented that have no skills. You're going to see young people that have no talent and all skills and a lot of tattoos. And then you're going to see old people who used to be skilled and are still talented. It's like you're going to just see all
it's the whole gamut. Yeah.
But the thing that separates a chef from just, wherever you are on the spectrum of skills and talent is leadership and compassion and wisdom. And, if you no longer have the skills, but you still have the talent, then fine. But you need to have the wisdom to know the difference. And put somebody in there who can do it for you. I know there's stuff I can't do anymore. And there's stuff that I've never learned to do, and I will just let somebody else do that.
Right.
But you got to know when that is, and not everybody does. And there's some real jackasses out there, and they have names, and my NDAs are coming due, and I am
I cannot wait for
I have some people like that too.
Yeah,
but when I was coming up in the kitchens, I remember always asking the chef, how do you want this done? Like, what do you want from me? And I remember always feeling very embarrassed by asking that question, because I felt like, well, I'm exposing myself for not knowing. And I didn't want to look stupid either. Like, I didn't want to go ahead and do it. I just want, like, show me what you want, and then we'll go from there. But after a while, even now in food media, when I'm working with chefs, even with like Josh, when you came on the show I was on, every time a chef came in, I would tell them, because a lot of times I would have to help them prep if they didn't have things prepped out. How do you want this done? Show me, and then, you know, I could help you move faster. And I'm glad I learned that early on, because it carried with me even now.
Yeah.
But even the kids that I work with now, they don't even ask that question. They just willy-nilly, whatever.
And it's not because you don't know or you don't have experience. You have plenty of experience. But if you're working with a different chef every time, the way that you do, every chef has a different way of doing it.
Yes.
And you want to do it the way they want to do it. And look, you can privately roll your eyes because they're doing it wrong. But if that's what they want,
that's their style.
Right. Exactly.
You're 40 now. You can do it, whatever. And then when you turn 50, then you can start telling people that they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I just tell people they're doing it wrong. I don't care anymore. You're doing it wrong.
What are you
What, you
doing?
can fire me? I don't work here.
Oh my God.
But it's great though that, you know, you get to a point where, you know, you just know how to be in the environment, you know, because of everything that you've already lived through and experienced, and to be in the position to pass that on and to keep that torch lit is important. And, you know, that's why, like, I'm so grateful to have amassed the friendships that I have throughout my culinary travels, because we've all been through it. We've all seen it. We all have experiences. We've all been burning the candle at both ends, and, you know, we still come back for more, you know, like, I mean, whatever, like, it is what it is, and we love it and we hate it, and we love it and we hate it. But I just have so much respect for it. And I think that now that we're in the positions that we're in, like, you know, I think it's our obligation to, you know, kind of just pass it on, like, make sure that, you're cutting that right. And this is why you're doing it this way. And you may not understand it now, but you'll understand it later. You know, I'm telling you, what doing to me.
You can tell people when they ask, and they'll be like, you know, who taught you that? And you can say Michelle Bernstein or fucking Jacques Pepin or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember when I first met Michelle, because
I have all her recipes, by the way, in case you need.
Okay.
Well, we know who to go to then.
Chicken salad that I was really into when during our Basel one year. But I remember as a teenager, both of my parents were line cooks. So having that, been in the kitchen, but Michelle was like my idol when I realized who she was. And when I was in culinary school, my big sister from the Big Brother Big Sister program took me to Mishi's first restaurant in North Miami Beach. And I went there.
It was called Mishi's, that one?
It was called Mishi's.
I was there.
Wow.
You were there? Oh my gosh.
That's where I cooked. Yeah, that's where I cooked for her. Yeah.
Well, that was when I
probably wasn't there then. Yeah.
Well, that was like 10 years before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went there, it was like, for me, it was like such an honor. And I'd even meet her, but then I guess like 15 years later, I'm working an event that has her name all over it. So it was just full circle.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It felt really good. Yeah. It felt really good. She
Yeah.
did chew my ass out a few times over the chips, but it was
Par for the course.
over here.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's expected. You know what I mean? She yelled at me about the orzo. She was like, "No."
Oh, I remember that. The overcooked orzo.
Yes. Yeah. And it was my fault. It was a rookie fucking move. I walked away and did something else and got distracted and came back. And I was like, fuck.
It was mass quantities.
I was like, Amy, I'm packing my bags.
It was mass quantities though. So like,
it was like huge rondos at a time.
Yeah. But I went back and she's like, do it again. She's like, this time just stay on top of it. And then like she kept looking at me and I was like, and then it's okay. Is it good? Is it okay?
She was watching me like pluck part of cilantro, and I move slower because she's just sitting there watching me. So I'm like slowly, and she's like, "You gotta hurry this up." But I'm like, "You can't send it to me. I can't even function right now.
I can't work like this." Yeah.
No.
Well,
It's great
better
though.
you than me.
Those are the moments that make you, you know what I mean? That kind of help you become,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, like, okay, school me, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, let's wrap this up, y'all, because we've already been talking for like 90 minutes here. We can keep talking all day and all night about our shenanigans through life. But let me just say to all of you that I am so grateful and blessed to know you all, and how that experience really, really did something for me. I mean, it really kind of helped. It was that it came along at a time where my life was shifting in a very crazy way. But it helped me really kind of hyper focus in on what it is I wanted to do. Because at that point I was on the cusp of actually leaving the restaurant business because of what was going on with my daughter. And I knew I had to like take the reins on what she was going through fully in order to guide her through that. And I was really struggling with like my identity and like, what am I going to do? And, I love the restaurant business and I'd always worked in it. And like, what am I going to do now? How can I still stay connected to it and still cook and still feel like I'm part of it, without, so it really came along at a time where it was like, you know what, you'll be okay. Like you said, there's other ways that you can do it. It's not about just the one thing. And just meeting everybody and other people and, just the crap that we went through and the things that we did together, and Jonathan yelling fuck off in the middle of the night, and us like pretending to do Titanic on the beach, and just like all that stuff was just like, and being tired and exhausted, and, keeping all of you up with my fucking snoring. And, this, all of it was just like the best thing. So I really appreciate you all for being here on this crazy show of mine. To talk about things, and going forward, I'm so proud of all of you, and
Same.
Seeing where you guys are going and how you're thriving and how you're doing it. You're fucking doing it, and no matter what, you're always going to do it in some way. So, and I'm here for you. I will always rally behind you and support you no matter what. And like I said, if you need me, I'm there. So
I'll be calling.
Yeah.
Watch out what you asked for. But look, it'll never be as bad as Basel, like no matter what.
So true.
It won't be that good either, but whatever.
Well, I can't do the 15-hour thing anymore. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody should have
After
to.
12 hours, I kind of start to crash.
Yeah.
But I think we all surprise ourselves with what we actually can do, like how capable we all are of doing the things. Hello, Jonathan. Yes, clock it. Okay. Clock it, baby. All right.
Well, I think having the opportunity to just push yourself is really that's special.
Always.
Special opportunity.
Special
opportunity that you don't need to do again. That's great.
That's why I said once was enough.
Well, I kept doing it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, Meows, thank you all so much for being here and taking the time to hang out with me. I know we're all over the place and scattered, but I appreciate you guys and love you all very much. And I want to thank everybody for watching and hanging out with us too. And we will see you on the next one. Meow, meow.
Bye. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Meow.
Yeah.
Trails to you. All right. Meow. All right, hold on. I'm going to end it now. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You've been listening to the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast with your host and producer, Chef Nikki Meow. Kick-ass music by 3 Parts Acid. Follow 3 Parts Acid at 3 Parts Acid on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. The amazing artwork by Art by Bruce 13. Follow Art by Bruce 13 on Instagram. And I'm your voice with the most. I'm Jason Neer. This has been the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast, copyright 2026. See you next time, kids.